Hey, this is Allison.
And this is Nina.
And this is Chaotic Good, your anything but neutral reality TV podcast.
And today we are recapping Traitors US Season 4, Episode 9, Think Outside the Box. Did you feel like they were thinking outside the box in this episode, Allison?
Nope. Nope, they are very much in their box.
Yeah, the box seems like very neat and tidy, actually, with very sharp corners and completely sealed up.
No, what I feel like is this season now, we have this episode that we're about to recap, and then we have 2 more episodes of the season, and I think it is a 3-episode victory run for Rob to the finale.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah,
and we were almost like, so what are we going to talk about? Because, well, obviously we are going to talk. We've got thoughts and feelings of things, but it kind of.
I feel like overall the best chapter of this season is behind us.
I think so
too. So
I
think,
so too,
when I'm going to talk about this a lot because I feel like this feeling of Rob's perspective on the game is so much about taking the emotion out of it, being practical, being logical. He's targeted a lot of emotional players. Also a lot of people who are now watching the show are, if a player does something with an emotional motive behind it, they call them an idiot. And I'm like, that's sometimes the best part of reality TV.
Yeah.
Not sometimes, all the time.
All the time, yes.
Is the real people that come into these games with emotions and hearts and feelings and backgrounds and stories and how they play this game. Yeah. This very hard game.
Yeah, I'm not cheering on a math problem that's being solved here. I'm cheering at the fact that one player was able to get another player because that original player got them earlier and now they were able to swerve and blindside them and then got them out at the end. That's what we cheer on. That is like when we're galvanized, those Survivor watch parties, right, where people are like screaming like, oh, at tribal council, like, oh my god, that happened. That not only are we having an emotional reaction to what just happened, it's because there is emotion behind what that logical step that person just did was because they had an emotional reaction to something. It's very much a domino effect. And
I feel like everyone's been put in a box and the emotion has been taken out. And it looks like he's gonna have a very successful run to the end. I have a guess. I'm gonna literally lay out how I think it's gonna go step by step if you want to hear.
Of course I want to hear.
Okay, so the next vote will only have 7 people. And Rob, so that means with Rob's dagger, he only needs 2 people on his side to vote with him. Easy. Which I think he easily has those numbers. And that'll give him 4. And so he will then have the majority vote with that one, and that'll just be a domino effect. Anyway, so number 1, this has already happened. Natalie's been killed.
Yeah.
Natalie's been killed.
I think so, yeah.
Number 2.
The final gamer.
The next banishment will be Johnny.
Yeah.
And then...
Johnny or Tara? What do you think? Or no, you think they're gonna...
I think the castle consensus will be more towards Johnny because so far they've taken out 3 female traitors in this season that I think by default the banishments will skew more male. My guess. I'm guessing Johnny will be banished. And then at that night, for the murder options, obviously Eric and Rob will not be an option there. And so Mara, Tara, Kristen, Mark, out of that, I think Mara is going to get killed. Oh, yeah. Because I think keeping Tara alive as another target option for Kristen, because I think Kristen is now has her eyes on Eric and has her eyes on Tara. Yes. Which is good for Rob.
Very good.
So I think
Kristen has said that she trusts Rob the most. And I think maybe even Mark has said that also. My two like beacons. I love those people so much. Yeah. I came into the show being like, I'm so excited to see them. And I am still excited I do like watching them. It's so interesting that both of them are like, you're my number one.
Yeah, I think during like the gallery challenge, Mark says something along the lines of at some point in the game, you just had to put your trust in a couple of people, and I've decided to put my trust in them. Yeah. Also, this episode has unlocked that the way to melt Kristen Kitsch's heart is to be a confident introvert. So if you're an introvert, but like not speaking up at, you know, the round table, she's got a problem with that. Like, get a backbone. But
also if you're like too bombastic,
but if
too
you're
loud, taking up to like too much space.
If you're not like calm.
Yeah.
I've also got a problem with that.
That was a really icky moment when Kristen was talking to Tara.
So like somehow she has found these two men, confident introverts, and she's literally like, and now I lay my life before you. Because that is literally like the key to go like
into her heart.
Into her heart.
Yes.
So then I think the next banishment will be either Tara or Eric.
Yeah. Easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I think during the fire ceremony, they will then get Tara or Eric out next.
Exactly. At this point, it's
yes. And then it will end with Kristen, Mark, and Rob. We saw that 3 at breakfast this episode, and I feel like that is
locked in.
That is the 3, the final 3, and then Rob will win as sole traitor.
Yeah.
So that is my layout. We will compare and contrast as the next couple episodes go on, but that is my guess. Now that I kind of just like want to talk about like the season in general, just because I feel like now that I feel like we are on this like runway to an end that we kind of can see a little bit into the future. There are some opportunities for surprises, which I'm like, would love
and
that.
Please, and we would love that. We're still gonna watch the show, and we would love a surprise here or there, please.
But
please
so far, what was maybe a high point for you of this season?
Gosh, a high point for me. It was really fun when we were driving down to Florida and we were watching it with the girls, and Candace's throwaway vote to Rob, even though at the end of the day it really didn't go anywhere. It was, I don't know, because I'm trying to think of like what times during the season I was like, oh my god, that's, and that I gotta say that was one where I'm like, the heck, like I didn't feel like that was gonna like land heavy anywhere, but it was just fun to see someone like spice it up a little bit. I'll tell you
exactly. One of my favorite moments of the season was when Lisa entered the banquet. In her couture sailor-esque dress, she just had that glimmer in her eye, and she was ready to murder. And just the banquet scene and all of that, and so many of the very fun characters still left in the game.
That was so fun. That moment where maybe it is Jam Jam. Someone compliments her outfit, and she's like, "Oh, this is high fashion, darling. This is where I live." I think about that all the time. Her saying, "This is where I live." I think about like I'll just have a nice moment, or like maybe I'm like eating something good. I'm like, "This is where I live."
Yeah, because I think overall, like what we've like seen this season is this. I feel like Michael Rappaport phrased it himself on night 1. There are 5 gamers and there are 5 housewives, and I feel like that has been the war of the season.
Yeah,
because now we're down to 0 housewives. We've got 1 gamer left we very much think has been killed at this point. And so I think, it's interesting because I think the war on the housewives was caused from Phaedra in season 2 being a very successful housewife traitor, and that shocking everyone once she got banished. Oh my gosh, she was a traitor. I can't even believe a housewife in the turret. And then Suri, season 1, being a successful gamer traitor, put the stink on gamers in the game. So now it's like there was 5 housewives going into the game and 5 gamers, and they both had targets. They were all of them were under threat. And so I'm wondering, how is Rob going to change the game going forward?
I hope for the better, in the sense that, like you said,
it evens the playing field.
It evens the playing field. You're right. The last couple seasons, it did feel like these 2 different teams going at each other. But this time around, it felt like there were those like Ouroboros snakes, it felt like they were just eating each other alive.
Yes.
They just,
yes.
because they were like, well, surely one of us has to be it. So I can't trust any of y'all. So then they were just like, exactly. There were no alliances. There were no groups. I mean, like the housewives, I guess like a little bit, but I mean, two of them were traitors. I mean, like how aligned could they be?
I mean, yeah, the gamers didn't trust each other. So I just feel like this is going to unlock maybe just more suspicion going forward, but a more even field.
I think
suspicion.
more even field. And especially more even field for those kind of what you mentioned, those like one-off players that do come from like
different
not smaller,
shows.
Just different shows. Yeah,
different
or different types of shows.
So
comedians that come in. Wow, wouldn't that be crazy to have like a comedian
in the turret?
in
yeah,
the turret?
It's really going to open up people's
Bring it
minds.
on.
Because I'm like, okay, people coming from Love Island are no longer going to be seen as non-threats. The quiet guy is no longer going to be able to play as under the radar.
Yep.
The calm player, I also feel like this feeling of, oh, because they're calm, you know, that makes them more, you know, trustworthy.
Yeah.
Where actually it's like, why is Rob so calm? Maybe because he's lying in his
castle.
He's the king of the castle. Exactly.
That's why he's so calm. He's not going anywhere.
I think the hunk demographic stereotype will not be as safe anymore.
Yes, I feel like the hunk for the last couple of seasons, it was all they were the faithful, like the leader of the faithfuls was very much their,
and that's what they think
archetype.
Rob is.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
So even though I'm like struggling with parts of this season, I hope that it unlocks.
I think it
something better for the future.
I am very excited for next season. I feel the exact same way. I feel like this was almost like a growing pain season. They were throwing in some stuff, trying out some new things, and let's learn some lessons. And I think moving forward, I hope.
Yes.
Also producers, I don't know, we've had throughout our recap season, we've thrown out some great ideas, you know, maybe make it instead of just money, making the prizes something that these reality TV stars actually want,
or increasing the pot.
Yeah.
I also think making the game truly harder for the traders, because one thing I'm like, okay, Survivor's in a couple weeks. We will be recapping Survivor, so please stay tuned.
Yeah.
Also, we are very busy doing profiles on every single Survivor player going into season 50, so please check out our channel. But no, I just feel like these faithfuls, they, have the shit into the stick because they're going off of nothing.
Yeah.
They're going off of, Lisa put rocks in his box. Or Candace said Johnny should go to the gallery room when everyone was putting up names for people to go to gallery rooms. And when Mark Ballas was coming after Johnny at the round table tonight, and he's like, well, if you're a traitor, then say that you're not one and prove it. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing
what do you think Johnny's doing right now?
No, it's just like, I think everyone just being so like, oh, who could be this untrusted? I feel like it's making people like a screw, like loose in people's heads.
Yeah.
That like we need to have some more evidence to go based off of, because it's almost making people go a little bit nutty.
A little cuckoo, yeah.
A little cuckoo,
castle,
exactly.
They're going cuckoo in the castle, for sure.
But before we start like our chronological recap, I want to take a moment to just share some thoughts on a character we've already mentioned several times. It's Mr. Rob Roush.
Yes.
So if you've been following our recaps, thank you so much for the support. Like, subscribe, follow, all of that. You can also probably know, if you listened to our last recap, we really went to town on this
Rob.
guy.
Yes. Yeah. We had an emotional reaction to our queen, our girl Candace, being banished. And we let those thoughts and emotions out on our podcast.
And what I'm going to say is, okay, guys, I feel like sometimes it's funny entering like the podcast world, because I feel like we're clear, and then sometimes you get feedback and comments and stuff, and it's like, okay, I need to be clearer.
Yeah.
So I'll be as clear as I can be. He is a talented traitor.
Yes. Agreed.
But I'm not calling him a good traitor, because I don't want to confuse y'all. I'm not calling him good because I'm not rooting for him. I am not rooting for Rob. I'm rooting for the faithfuls to figure out Rob and get him banished from the castle. If you are rooting for Rob,
blessings on your journey.
Like, literally, good for you. Like, we're all having different emotional, like, strong reactions to the show. But I feel like some of the reaction has been, like, because we had criticisms of Rob and his interactions with female players on the game, his past on Love Island, the approach he's had to the game, things we loved about other players. We think he's, like, doing a terrible job, and we literally can't understand how he's literally a good trader and he can do the deduction logic of steps 1, 2, 3. Don't you understand? It's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, no, we understand what makes him a
on paper
so what did you call it?
Talented.
Like, a talented trader. Absolutely, which we have talked about also.
Yes.
Just as much as we talked about how much we dislike, and we've also have talked about, like, oh, genius move. That was a great move. All right. Well, it's like, okay, we're seeing the map here. But yeah, but yeah, we don't like the guy.
Yeah, no, it's like, I've actually been thinking about it a lot. So, I bet a lot of you listening, if you're like in this space, you're also Survivor fans. And it made me think back on Russell, who played in seasons 19 and 20. He is like still known as like the biggest villain to like ever play the show.
Wow.
So he got to the end of both of the seasons that he played, like final tribal council and everything, but he lost both times
because people didn't vote for him.
Because people didn't vote for him because he was like that level of villain.
Wow.
But the 2 seasons he played, he controlled the game, was finding idols, kept an alliance together, you know, used a lot of extreme strategies to get his way, but he just wasn't loved on the cast and outside of the show, and that led to 2 like big losses on his part. Traitors is not set up that way. And it's like, I don't have to root for Rob, and I cannot root for Rob and still say, like, still, you know, still recognize that he's playing like an on paper good game. Or like the title of our podcast is Chaotic Good.
Yeah.
We love like
and Rob
the
is good. Chaotic evil.
I would even say like lawful or neutral evil.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't feel like
right.
I don't even
lawful
think he.
evil.
Yeah, I don't think he brings a lot of like chaos into the
You're
game.
right. No, he is. Yeah, he is lawful evil.
So anyway, that's my thoughts, and I do seriously mean, like, if you guys are fans of Rob, that's like totally fine. It's just we have different opinions.
Yeah, exactly. People are almost seeing like what he's saying and this manipulation of calling someone that's being so calm towards him, like Candace, and being like, taking that as you're being too emotional, or like you're taking this too hard, it's just a game, to almost like turning that same idea on us. I mean, like, we're being too emotional, it's just a TV show. Like, calm down. And it's like, that is literally the name of our podcast is Chaotic Good. The podcast, like, with like anything but neutral takes on reality TV.
Yes.
These are our takes. And we started this because we did have big feelings about reality TV, and we love talking about it. We love sharing it with each other and our friends. And we want to hear everybody's thoughts on it. And so it is this sort of, it's this weird concept of taking,
like, because we have an emotional reaction to a show that's really like filled with emotions, and that's like literally the success that these shows are behind. That was my next thing. It's like, we're not thinking with our logical brains. It's like, we can think with both.
Yeah, that's where I was going to next, where it's like, exactly, I feel like one of the things we love about Traitors the show is that it's a game show, it is a strategic show, but them specifically getting these reality TV stars in there, it brings the drama, it brings the fun, it brings like the emotion and the characters and the one-liners and the fashion. Like, that is where the joy lies for me. I mean, I do also enjoy the strategy, obviously we're talking about it. But all this, it's the mix of all those things that makes Traitors such a standout show for me. And something that just feels so different. Obviously it has such a big audience, and I think that's what makes it stand out. And then for that to be twisted up and to say like, oh, these big characters, these big emotions are actually, it's bad. It's actually bad. It doesn't make them like good players. I'm like, okay, what are we doing here then? What
Yeah.
are we doing here? Then watch okay, then I'll watch a different show. Then that's a different show altogether. So yeah, all that to say, yeah, traders keep casting these like fun people. Like I don't want
okay, like Johnny and Tara's friendship this episode, Lisa's tearful exit saying how this experience has meant so much for her. When Candace tears up, when Tiffany is doing a very personal defense of her own character at the round table, and Candace is like, she's literally trying to put a kid through college with the winnings of this show. Like, guys, come on. I mean, these are like the moments that like like
tug at your
that's
heartstrings.
like,
They're
like
human.
That's like when I like am like invested in the show the most.
And since a certain trader has taken away all that emotion from the show, it's kind of hard for I'm feeling a bit untethered to the show right now.
Yes.
I am feeling a bit like, okay, what can I even hold on to? There's still people in there that I like. I know I just said I do like Kristen and Mark.
The warm embrace of Johnny and Tara. I just want to get in there.
Oh, get me in that.
Get me in that cuddle
puddle, please. Them embracing. I mean, we talked about it while watching it. Them embracing and being like, okay, can we just like be out like friends now? Can we just be? And we were all. That's what we were cheering for.
Yes.
We're watching the show, and what are we cheering? We're not cheering on these traders. We're cheering on these two friends that are just feeling lost in this game and can only trust each other.
And literally
That's
can
what I'm
lock
cheering on.
eyes, and it's love. LOVE. Love, guys. Well, on those thoughts, let's actually start the recap. Okay, so we start the episode with Rob lifting his hood. What's up, player? Eric losing it. Yes.
Such good faces.
And
Sweet Eric.
And Rob's like, either you join me as a traitor, or I'm gonna kill you right now.
I'm gonna kill you right now. Just the way he said that, it's like, I almost felt like he was saying like, I'll kill you right now, but you know what? You'll like it.
You like the way I kill you?
I promise you. I'll promise you that.
Oh my god, I feel like Rob bringing Eric in as a traitor. We were talking about this when we were watching it last night. It's like we've like seen it play out in movies before.
Yes.
Like
this exact
like this
thing.
trope of like the popular kid brings in like the nerd outcast loser, and the nerd outcast loser is like so excited to like join the club, but the like popular person has like nefarious, not so honest pretenses. No, it made me think of, I was like thinking of different examples from like pop culture, but like when Regina George brings in Katie in Mean Girls.
That's exactly
and
it.
literally like, I feel like Rob is like, yeah, on Wednesdays we wear pink, this is the turret, this is how we do
this
things.
is how you put your cape on.
Oh no, let me adjust that for you.
I got you. Hey, I got you.
And it's so funny because Eric, if you can believe it, is 37 years old.
I can't believe it. It's shocking every single time it comes on like its lower third.
He's 37 years old, and Rob is 27 years old. But I feel like Rob is like bringing in like an innocent, sweet little boy into a dangerous game.
Yes.
And Rob saying in his talking head to us, so he's telling this to us, I picked Eric because he's intelligent and my equal. What did he think about that?
Lies. I think that's why we were yelling at the screen. Lies. Liar.
Yeah.
Like, no, you picked Eric because is easy to manipulate. He's already in your pocket. So he's already following your every word. So that's an easy person that will do your bidding, if you will.
Yeah.
And
it's
also,
someone who wouldn't challenge you. Yeah.
And also someone that you'd be more than happy to just throw in the fire when needed too.
Yeah, cut free.
Yeah.
No, I feel like he was we mentioned this in our last recap, but I felt like he was like traitoring the audience again.
Yes.
And I was like, wait, no, like
don't listen. Don't
stop it.
Just because he's saying it to the camera doesn't make it true. Doesn't make it real. Just because he looks into the camera and says, my name is Robby Bobby. I'm 8 feet tall and I poop out golden eggs. It doesn't mean it's real. It doesn't mean it's true. Just
no. And he's
y'all know.
also looking Eric into his eyes and he says, I'm fully confident we are going to win this game together. And he does, when he was doing his like little like dagger questionnaire where he can like read if anyone is lying, he does a blink and he looks down as he's saying it and then looks away and then comes back to Eric's eye contact. Like him saying, we are going to win this game together. He diverted his eyes and I was like, I learned from the best.
Oh, here we go.
I learned from you, Rob. That don't look so honest to me. Okay, I was thinking it would have been a little bit more fun, a little bit more sexy if he had recruited Mora.
Ooh, I would have loved that. You know, I would have loved
like it
that.
would have like her like little like side eyes, her little glances through the episodes, her like parting her lips, being like, "What do we do next?"
I think. Just also, I do. Then I would honestly cheer on the Traitors because then it's not just I'm not cheering for Rob and Mora. I'm cheering for Love Island.
Yes,
I'm cheering for Love Island supremacy. That's what I would want to cheer on.
No, and instead we get Eric, who like the whole episode is just like.
He's like, so my strategy is that I'm just gonna be quiet and listen in and only speak when spoken to. It's like, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Good luck, buddy.
So yeah, I think what do you think? So as we've mentioned, kind of hinted at, so you don't think Eric is long for this world? You don't think he's going to end the game with Rob?
I don't think so, because I can also see even if by some miracle Eric ends up at that final bonfire circle, I can see Rob pulling a Siri, and being like, no, I don't. I still think
there's a traitor. And then he looks in Kristen's eyes and Mark's eyes and he's like,
I think it's like Kristen. I remember you telling me that. And it's just, I just feel it in my gut. Like it hasn't been able to leave me. And I think Eric is also a traitor. Yes.
The thing that could like literally pop the lid off the box, you could say, that we're in this season would be, what if Eric turned on Rob?
The way that I would love that so much. Well, remember, we almost thought that at the round table when they were going around, right, saying their names, and Eric is the second traitor to mention a throwaway vote.
Ends up not throwing it away.
No.
But he said it and we're all like,
because I think in our heart of hearts, we're not cheering Rob on, we're cheering literally anybody else.
Literally anybody else. Yeah.
And we were like, if Eric has it in him, this would be some of the most
chaotic good.
It would be some of the most chaotic good to happen on this show ever.
Okay, so this is what. Okay, because I'm like, it feels crazy to think that Eric could turn on Rob, because I think these shows have fairly short shooting like schedules.
Yes.
And why would we think that Eric's going to literally change who he is, like at the core of his person within 48 hours?
Mm-hmm.
But if he did, it would be cool if the next morning he was like, hey, Kristen, so remember when you said like I didn't have a backbone at the round table and I wasn't like speaking up and stuff? It's because I have this like crazy idea and I've been nervous to say it, and it really came to my mind during round table and I just couldn't get my thoughts together, but I've had a nice sleep and I think it's Rob. And go to Kristen with that, because I feel like Kristen, although she is so like literally, Rob has like unlocked her like chef icy heart with that confident introvert thing. Kristen's still a very smart player.
Yes.
And I think because essentially Eric, knowing that Rob is a traitor, he can connect all the dots. Oh, the Candace throwaway votes weren't throwaway votes. Oh, when he was like trying to get in the gallery because he was so scared for his life. Oh, when he was telling people to like not tell anyone about the dagger to protect him. He doesn't need protection. Yeah. Like he can get all of these pieces together, and he could go to Kristen and be like, it's actually
Rob.
I don't think that's gonna happen, but
I don't think that's gonna happen.
But if it did, like,
wow,
oh my god, yeah, we would have to do like a midnight night podcast, because I'd be like, I can't go to sleep.
I would feel tethered again. I would feel like, okay, I'm back. My claws are back in this show now, and it's meaty again, because I'm like, okay, there's meat on this show now, and we've got to like really let it simmer.
But unlikely.
but very unlikely.
So the next thing they do, now that they're newly minted traitor duo, is they decide on the murder for the night, and Miss Dorinda gets murdered.
Yeah, bye Dorinda.
I know. I loved when she was reading her letter the next morning. She's like, "I've been made to board the traitors," or she was trying to do that. That was a British accent. Yeah. Oh gosh, the way like I tried it. Traitor. Anyway, I can't do a Scottish accent, but she's the queen that is going back to Bluestone Manor.
Bluestone Manor, yes, back in the Berserkshires where she belongs, and I guess back to a new Roni reboot. So
I know, because it just was announced this week, so it's been a crazy the Roni universe. Oh, it's been crazy. Because the E channel has announced an OG Roni reboot. Yeah. Jill Zarin was part of that cast. Jill Zarin got booted after her really unfortunate take on the halftime show, and that brought Dorinda in. So wow, what an exciting week for Dorinda. Murdered, but also reborn.
Exactly.
Yes, it's karma, baby. No, I thought, I was not surprised that Rob, I say Rob and Eric. Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry. Ooh.
Sorry, they're equal traitors.
Yeah, they're equal. They're equal. Right.
So anyway, when Rob decided to go for Dorinda, I wasn't surprised because, who's an emotional player? Dorinda,
hi.
And who has been aligned more on the housewife side throughout this season, has done votes that maybe wasn't, voted in tandem with more of a Lisa Candace type of side. I think Dorinda could also be swayed by Johnny and Tara. Yes. Like, I think, definitely. Although Dorinda was very much in Rob's pocket, she could leave it. Yeah.
But also, I think killing Dorinda off, her being so in Rob's pocket, I mean, to the point where, I forget if you already mentioned this, like, Kristen looks over to Rob and says, "Oh, your wifey's gone," as if to say, like, exactly, like, oh, that was your alliance. So again, just really leaning into, I can't possibly be Rob, because why would he get rid of someone that's like so close to him?
Oh my gosh, you know what, the round table that's happening later that night with Natalie, when he's like, I changed my vote to Steven because Natalie, I trust you so much, and so I'm changing the vote to Steven. So when Natalie gets murdered, he's gonna be like, oh my God,
that was my strongest alliance right there, and she's gone. Yeah, nice.
So the next morning we get to breakfast, and possibly our final three are the first to arrive.
Yes.
And Kristen's like, oh my gosh, we have to talk. We have to talk
right now.
And she says in her talking head confessional ITM, it's interesting, all different franchises have different ways of phrasing, like they're
the like solo interviews, direct to camera interviews.
Anyway, when she says in her talking head, she says that she really values her friendships with Mark and Rob because they are calm. And I feel like this, we're going to go into this more, the whole introvert versus extrovert.
Yeah. But also,
conversation.
And like you said, like what type of introvert? Because you can't just be any type of introvert. You can't be bumbly and nervous like Tara. Yeah. And you can't be too quiet and not talking like Eric.
Exactly.
Those are bad introverts.
But I also think it's I think I just see this like in society and friendships and relationships in general. If you have the POV of your life if you identify as an introvert, you then see weaknesses in extroverts, and then if you identify as an extrovert, you see weaknesses in introverts. And it's I always think that's like so endlessly fascinating. That from two different perspectives you can see like the same person is like weak or strong for like the exact same trait. So as more people are coming in, they start, Johnny is the name. Yeah. It reminds me of Survivor when someone's like just on the chopping block and it's just like their name is out. Yeah. And it's like,
and the whole episode is them like trying to,
like, how do you get my name out of people's mouths? And literally them being like, oh yeah, the biggest evidence we have is when Candace was telling everyone that Johnny needed to go in the gallery. This is just, I went back to the episode and I rewatched that scene. So what happens is Eric says, pre-trader Eric says, guys, to be fair, let's all throw out a name that isn't our own to nominate who should go to the gallery. Everyone goes around and says a name. Candace says Johnny. Johnny never gets shields. I'm going to say Johnny. You know who doesn't throw out another person's name?
Rob.
He nominates himself. He nominates himself. And
But somehow that's not suspicious.
No.
That's not suspicious.
No.
Though. Yeah.
Also, the talk is like, okay, because I think it's valid. It's smart at this point to think, oh, there might be a recruitment happening.
Yes.
Because of how many traders we've gotten out and how many, roundtables and episodes essentially that we have to go. Likely a recruitment has happened. And they are saying, what if Johnny recruited Tara? Y'all, the way on a production level, they could not start the season with that pair. One of them being a traitor and the other one being a faithful. Yeah. It's literally like the game would not be an honest game.
No, because they would tell each other.
They share the same brain.
They do. Yeah.
They are close in a way that you don't understand. When Mark Ballas compared his dancing partners on Dancing with the Stars with what they have, I was like, man, hush. Hush your mouth, okay? Because I bet you're very close with your dancing partners, but you've also done it for like 20 seasons.
Yes.
With different people.
With different people every season.
People every season. All of these two people are each other. They like this is the true end game. It's those two. So the way that they're thinking, I had this feeling so much through the episode, like the way they could never lie to each other and play the game. Like there's no reality where Johnny is a traitor and he's now recruited Tara. Like that's insane to me. Also, I don't think they would have put them in the turret because I think they're the main reason they're cast is for NBC Peacock to promote the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, of course.
Because now the Winter Olympics are in full swing. Johnny and Tara are commentating, and it's like if people are interested in Johnny and Tara, maybe they're gonna go watch the Olympics. It's all part of the plan. It is. And I don't think they would have put those sweetie pies in the turret to maybe make an ass of themselves. No. So, post-breakfast, Tara and Johnny are, Tara's like, he's my best friend. I'm going to go to bat for him. And we get a number of very sweet conversations with them. But the confessional that Johnny has where he says, the reason why we're not good at this game is because we didn't have normal childhoods. And while other kids were out playing games, we were going to the Olympics. So I'm thinking they didn't have sleepovers probably.
Yeah, they never played Wolf. They never played Mafia.
Exactly. And it just makes me think how, anyway, I'm now I'm so all in on Johnny and Tara, just who they are. I'm like, is there documentaries out there? Is there more interviews? I mean, we did profiles of both of them. Nina did especially.
Yeah, but I don't remember seeing if there were any actually documentaries about them. I'm sure maybe we can find some very well researched other YouTube videos.
Yes, yeah, no, because now I'm just I'm curious, because he later the round table mentions their harsh childhood too. And that was what's bonded them so much. And he's also how he was taking some of this as personal attacks on them, because he's we've been through infertility issues, a divorce. Don't you dare say that I would be these awful things about us. Yeah. And so I'm just go team.
And is that when Tara
then goes to Kristen?
Again, another beautiful friend. Another being I'm going to bat for you, so I'm going to go out there and get your name out of people's mouths. So Tara starts talking to Kristen, and I believe and is asking her who do you think it is? Did you think it's Johnny? Or if you think it's me, I totally understand. Well, just let me know.
Tara says, she's I know Johnny so well. He's a really good friend of mine. I've worked with him for a long time. I don't think he's a traitor, but I do have some other big ideas, and I think it's Steven. And Kristen goes, it's not Steven. And
It's not
Steven.
Steven.
And Tara's like, okay, well, if it's not Steven, I mean, I'm open to, you know, like other ideas of yours. I mean, if you think it's me, that's fine. I do think it's you. And I think it's you because you act scared all the time. And to be honest, I'm gonna be frank with you. I'm gonna be real with you for a second. I gravitate towards people with confidence in my real life, and that's why I'm suspicious of you, because you act scared all the time.
Yeah, it was a big ick moment.
I would say
Kristen,
if I'm gonna throw Kristen a bone, it is possible what she meant is almost how when people were saying, oh, if Lisa was a faithful, we thought she would have been a little bit more intense in her pursuit of the traitors and not going with the flow. Maybe Kristen is thinking, oh, Tara is such a badass in her real life, has accomplished these huge things, has like overcome these crazy odds, and now she's coming into this castle and is acting like a scaredy cat. Like, that doesn't make sense, and for that reason I find it suspicious.
Yeah.
She didn't say all that though.
She didn't. She just says she doesn't trust her because she doesn't think she's confident. And I'm sorry, this is Kristen, a reality TV star, a chef, an accomplished chef, saying this to an Olympian. An Olympian who became an Olympian at 15 years old.
Yeah. And then that out there. Did one of the most bravest things in her career when, after she won this gold at 15 years old, she decided to go professional, which please listen to Nina's profile of Tara Lipinski, because I learned so much, because I'm like, going professional, she was already professional. What do you mean? So if you like choose to make like skating like more of a career, like you maybe do like celebrity shows, appearances, tours on that, you cannot compete in the Olympics. Why is that? Why can't
we're all ears? Hi, we're all ears.
People
why not?
Can't be athletes and employed? Feels crazy to me. But she decided when she was like 15, 16 years old that she's gonna go professional because she wanted to like be a teenager and have a real life and have some agency in her life, and you know, stop what was likely a very like intense next phase of her life that she had already
felt so much of. Yeah,
exactly. And she'd already won the gold.
Yeah. Got on top. And she got a ton of flack for it. Like the public perception of her completely soured because like this, I forget the name of it, but like the skating federation, the like association of like figure skating, like completely turned their backs on her and just called her a sellout, called her ungrateful, all these horrible things because she wanted to live her life. And that doesn't sound like someone that's not confident.
Yeah.
To me.
It's interesting. Well, because this is like the tough thing about Traitors too, is because Kristen is making these huge blanket statements on Tara. We're then on top of that making huge blanket statements on Kristen, on Rob, on all these people. True. When it's like it's all a game of like deceit and deception on like no facts at all. So you just see one trait of this person and then you like make some huge like statement on who they are.
Based on that
little thing. Like, you know, oh, Tara's running around scared of, you know, creepy crawlies in a scary castle. You know, like, so who cares? Because I'm like, okay, Tara's scared. Then we get to the scene of Rob lounging
like the king he is in his castle.
On a couch. The least, you know, scaredy cat person, you know, in the castle. And that is the, you know, King Traitor, and it's like maybe the person who's so calm and confident.
Yeah, and,
why is
and
that?
Isn't worried, and it's interesting because I feel like in past seasons that's how they've maybe have caught some traitors because they were like, wow, this person is very confident. Like, they didn't seem scared that they were going to get murdered. Like that's been brought back or brought up in past seasons, but something about this season. That is not mentioned.
Rob will say out loud that he's afraid to be murdered, but then his body language says otherwise.
Yeah.
No, he reminded me, like, I feel like I've seen like period films of like the the lounging villain. Like he just
yes.
it reminded me
yes.
of I mean this is gonna be a niche reference, but John Malkovich's character in Dangerous Liaisons.
Oh, yes.
Valmont. He was he was the villain. Yes. He was lounging a lot. Mm-hmm. He also was seducing without intimacy, playing tricks on people. And anyway, I love that movie, and I'm definitely going to do a rewatch of it because I wonder how many maybe parallels there are. Valmont and Rob, possibly.
Oh yeah, what do they? And so he's lounging on the couch, and it's Mara and Eric.
Eric, yes.
Yeah.
And Eric is just so nervous. He looks at Rob and sees him as an eagle soaring through the sky. I'm like, interesting reference.
Yeah.
Maybe because Rob has like the eyes of an eagle and he's like soaring above all of them. But he just is wanting to wear a helmet and an adult diaper because he's going to shit himself. Buddy. Oh, buddy.
Oh, buddy. So you were saying that it reminded you of like a period film. But to me, going back to what we were saying about Eric and Rob and that sort of like teen high school movie, like archetypes, that's what I saw when I was looking at that. It literally looks like cool, like Ferris Bueller, cool, like laying on the couch with his hot girlfriend, the pick-me girl that's like hanging out with the boys because girls are bitches and can't be trusted, and just like the nerdy like rich kid
yes
that's just there to like pay to go to bars and restaurants and get food and like drive people around. That's what that felt like to me.
Yes. No, it felt like this like character trope that we've seen through, decades of like film and story and all of that.
And it's just fascinating to see it just like kind of happen in real life. Just truly how that manifests, like you said, and like you're in a castle, you're surrounded by these people, but you get like just such short little bits of them that they do just become characters.
Yes.
And it's almost like maybe also because of that time and space that they have, those people, they themselves, maybe because they're comfortable, uncomfortable, don't know who to trust, they themselves turn into a character. I don't know. Maybe there's something there that can maybe be cut, but I don't know. That was, just talking about this episode especially felt like, oh, we're watching like not a reality TV show, like a TV show. We're watching a movie.
Yes.
Right now.
No, I see it.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the challenge.
Yes.
This is where we get the boxes.
The boxes. Yes. We have Alan coming looking gorgeous. Well, in the morning he walked in like that gorgeous like sequined toile.
Yeah.
Suit, which I personally love because it matches my curtains. So I was immediately like, love that. And then, a great cape at the challenge. I noticed because now we follow, of course, in starting this podcast, we follow all these, like all the trader stylists.
Yes.
They talked about his hair, which was gorgeously painted to be pink, white, and a light blue. And they mentioned that those are the colors of the trans flag, which I really liked. I don't know if that was like fully on purpose, but I don't know. It's just like a little like tidbit that I just found like really cool and interesting. And then we of course must mention this challenge has these huge like life-size replicas of Jack in the Box boxes.
Yes, yeah.
And so of course Lala can't be left out. Our girl Lala has her own little box that she's in watching the game unfold. And Lala knows who the traitors are now. So I think that's interesting.
Lala's our favorite traitor.
Yeah.
No, I thought the twist, so the twist that we hear is that people are going to go in the boxes and then in seasons past in this kind of challenge, the traitors like make their votes like while they're in turrets or away and stuff. This time they're going to sneak out of the boxes, come into the grassy field and make the decision together.
Yes.
However, I'm like, okay, yes, make things.
I immediately thought, I'm like, oh my gosh, Allison, they're listening to you. They're listening to you. They're making it like a little bit tricky for these damn traitors.
But we never heard anything from that. No one mentioned like, oh, I heard steps or something. So I have some ideas
Ooh, here we go.
of how they could have made it more
yes.
intense for the traitors. Okay, so one of them is that, okay, so when they go to make that vote for, you know, Tara every time, when they do it, their hands get covered with like red paint or something.
Oh my, that is so.
Or
yes.
they have to like dip their
Yes.
fingers in and write it with their fingers, but something like caught red-handed type of thing. So in
fun.
Survivor, there are beware. There in the past couple seasons, there have been beware idols.
Yes.
Where if you try to get the idol, beware. Things might not go your way, and there has been times where like you literally are covered in red paint in the process of trying to get to the idol, and then it's like you're trying to get it washed off, and then someone comes upon you and they're like, well, what is all that red stuff on you? Anyway, it would have been funny when they come out of the boxes and they're trying to like hide their hands the whole time, even on the ride back. Like they have to wait until they get all the way back to the castle, to a bathroom in the castle, to be able to wash their hands. But then they're like in the car, like, oh gosh, what if someone sees my hands? That's an idea.
Amazing.
The other thing would be if the set design was really different. So when they got out of their box, it's literally just like an open field, and then they walk to the grassy. It's nothing. You just like you take a couple steps. I'm thinking like, what if it was like this like muddy, murky, watery path, and they have to like walk on sticks or like stones and stuff, and it's like to get to the voting booth essentially is this like treacherous path. So if they like fall in the water or get mud on them, they'll know if they get caught. I was thinking of
that's amazing
when like Frodo and Sam and Gollum were traveling across like the murky waters, the murky water field in front of Mordor. And now they're like seeing dead people and stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, don't fall into the dead people water.
They'll get you.
Because I bet traders would love to set up dead people water.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
that would be good.
Get those extras. Get those extras in Scotland that can like hold their breath underwater and just like spook ya.
Yeah, so that's
just
one
be floating.
thing.
Just kind of be floating in the water.
Another kind of similar one is if there was like a physical challenge to then be able to get to the voting booth. Like you have to like climb up this huge set of stairs, or you have to like do like monkey bars, or do like honestly do something that makes you like red in the face and like hot and sweating, so that when you open the box you're like so trying to like regulate your breath again, but you're like you know, red in the face.
Yes.
Like some kind of physical change.
This.
Like there are ways for you to like, if you know how to, regulate your heartbeat and stuff in a very skilled way, maybe you can get it. Or if you're, ninja style crossing the marsh, or you know how to hide your hands, but it's like these like very telling signs.
I was hoping that when the challenge started that there was going to be some sort of, like deadline. Like there was going to be, like they could make their
like
decisions.
you have 30 seconds?
Exactly. So
and then everyone opens the box.
Exactly.
Oh,
no matter what,
good too.
like no matter what, whether they made a decision or not, the boxes are opening up in 30 seconds. So, right. So it's also a thing of like, okay, they're trying to be sneaky, but like how sneaky, like, right. They were going, it was a thing. It just became so boring. Like the way they were just slowly open up, take their time going down the little stairs, slowly walk up, have a long ass chat about who they're going to vote for. I mean, at the end, it was just they just voted Tara the entire time. But you know what I mean? But even then, that even still felt very leisurely. They were just taking their time. They were just hanging out on a field, and then slowly got back in their box, slowly closed it. And then Alan said, okay, well now vote. What do y'all and then they all came up at the same time. No. I really was hoping that there would be some sort of, there was a very specific time that they had to get out of their box, make a decision, get back in the box, and then open up.
Alan
like you made a
isn't giving
choice.
them time cues.
Oh,
like they have to, like when they have to like keep track of the time themselves.
Yes.
That would have been good.
Yeah. And you know who would have been good at that if Tiffany was a traitor?
Oh, she's one I miss.
I miss
Tiffany. I miss Rob Sesternino. I miss Monet.
Yeah. You said that a lot yesterday when we were watching the episode.
I know. It's like, my untethered self. I'm like reaching out to the ectoplasm and I'm like, Monet!
Monet! We missed you! I just kept looking over to Allison and she's like, well, this wouldn't be happening if Monet was here. Or this would be a lot more fun if Monet was here right now. And I'm like, I know, girl, I know, but she's not.
I know. So the choice to write Tara's name down for every single time. Was smart.
Yes.
But I have a big but.
Ooh.
Who, if you're trying to frame Johnny as the next traitor, who is the person that would never slander Tara's name like that? Johnny. Johnny does not have the heart to do that. Because as he said it later at the round table, you know, my kindness is my Achilles heel, and my kindness has been taken advantage of my whole life. Johnny is not the type of person to think of, I'm gonna get him because I'm
really gonna mess with
I'm
them.
gonna mess with them. I'm gonna put
Tara's.
Johnny would never do that.
Yeah.
Also, you know, you almost have to think about who out of this group would be smart enough to come up with that strategy of, let's just say the same name every time so we give them nothing. I would say out of that group, it's Rob, Natalie, Kristen.
Yeah.
Maybe Mark.
Yeah.
But it's that little smart cluster.
Exactly.
It's not Tara. It's not Johnny. It's not Mara, you know? So I just was, it felt like I was watching like something else, because I was like, actually, I feel like this outs people literally other than Johnny and Tara.
But it's something about this season that they see like people being close as like, oh, that's dangerous. Like, oh, they're actually like super close and they weren't like out about it. Well, then like that's weird. And I don't know.
And then like when they decide to notice something, it was like the last one when everyone at that point decides to vote Tara because they just want money at this point. And then the two people who don't are Johnny and Tara's are like, oh, I won't forget that, Mara says. I'm like, well, there's a lot of other details that there's to pick up on.
Mara, you have forgotten a lot throughout this season, so I'm also not holding my breath when you say that.
No, I think also this challenge proved that Eric was a great recruitment pick for Rob, because it really shows how Rob was in the driver's seat the whole time. Eric was just looking to him for
who should we do it? Who should we vote for?
Yeah.
And Rob is fully like, I got, like, you don't even worry about it. I got you. Or like, I've got a plan. Don't worry.
And so, yeah, he's, I mean, honestly, if I was playing and it was like end game in sight, I would like to play with someone who also is not challenging me. And is also just going to like help pave my way to the end as well. So I definitely was like, I see it. So then, as they're arriving home from the challenge, Natalie starts to have a change of heart, because we also get the short list for the murders at this point.
Yes, and it's Tara, Johnny, Kristen, and Natalie.
Yes, and they're all in a car heading home, and Natalie's like, because of course also people are thinking, oh, I bet a traitor would be a part of this group. And I was like, yeah, I was thinking that before, but now that I'm like in this car with y'all, I don't think that. And she's reading Johnny's body language, and it's defeated, it's scared, it's you know, like giving up almost. And she's like, this body language feels like one of a faithful.
Yeah, it looks like a defeated faithful. Yeah.
And she decides to make her target for Steven. However, I will say, Natalie, your eye, your demo that you're targeting.
Yeah, it's like it's getting closer.
It's getting closer
because
you're deciding to go for someone who's not a gamer, not a housewife, a man, one of the hunks.
Yeah, quiet, calm,
logical. Like, these are all things that people are not paying attention to at all, and it is hiding one of like the most lethal traitors we have ever come across. And see, I can say that for someone I'm not rooting for.
Yeah.
You see that?
You see that? You see how she did that and she didn't implode? It's interesting. That wasn't AI, that was real. I saw it with my own eyes.
So I'm like, yes, okay. And I'm like, okay, she says she's like, okay, I'm like coming back to the drawing board, and I want to be looking for these subtle, low-key things, because that is what really reveals a traitor.
Yes.
And she's kind of saying like, we can't just like tack on like someone's personality, like a personality trait, and then conflate that to, you know, you're a despicable, disgusting liar, traitor. You know, sometimes it like guys, you know, it's like a lot.
Something like that.
And so I'm like, okay, like what are like the subtle low key things that someone could find out about Rob to get him out? And we've said a few things like him nominating himself at the gallery challenge,
being so confident, like not being
Candace's voting history, the last traitor, him taking kind of control of the round table when he needed to get Lisa out, the whole Colton as a puppet statement from Candace. These are some things. And I think, because I'm so convinced, I'm going to be shooketh if she is not murdered next week. I'm going to, because I think so they go for Steven. We're recapping a show you've already watched. Steven's banished.
Yeah.
And now I feel like if she is like, okay, it's not Steven, but with the same kind of demographic in mind, Rob. Rob would be maybe next in her target.
Yeah. So it's
but I don't think we're going to be able to see that come to fruition.
And however, do you think, because what I started thinking of, I guess like I don't know if this is like jumping forward a bit, which is I guess we're jumping all over the place anyways, to Eric and Kristen's conversation after the round table where Kristen is telling Eric like, hey, like just so you know, like you're giving me red flags right now, like the way you're acting, like you're acting very nervous and weird, you're not talking, like, you know, if I didn't know any better, I felt like you've been recruited, like something like that, right? I feel like. And then later, Kristen goes to her group, her crew, Mark and Rob, and tells them that. It says like, yeah, if I just confronted Eric about him like acting weird and shifty. So if I'm not here tomorrow, keep your eyes on him. So that, I'm not gonna lie, seeing that scene, I'm like, is Rob gonna maybe like focus on Kristen and maybe murder Kristen? Because Eric wasn't in the room when she's like said that, right? Well, I mean, but Eric knows that like maybe like Kristen's coming for him, so I don't know, maybe he would also know not
I think
make it so obvious.
Rob,
I don't know, I thought maybe there was,
if Rob had not, when Rob told Eric in the turret, oh, Kristen came to me with this information, I was like, I don't think they're gonna kill Kristen. I think he's gonna keep Eric around for, I think if he had withheld that information, like how he withheld information from Candace, Kristen would definitely possibly be out. I mean, it's still a possibility that she's out, but I just, by the way he was still openly sharing information with Eric, he
is going for
Natalia. Oh, so we get back to the castle, and I am just so happy now because John and Terry, I
loved that. That was a perfect blend.
No.
And
Tari, Johnny and Tara are now arm in arm.
Yes,
it's like
as it should be.
And now just realizing how physical their friendship is and how far apart they've been for days now.
Yeah,
because now they're just walking hand in hand. They're if they sit on a couch, they're literally like
on top of each other,
like
just like
holding each other. It's so sweet. Funny sidebar story. When I was in middle school, I was reported, I was sent to the principal's office, and I had no idea why. And I get to the principal's office, and he says, "There's been reports of you holding hands with girls at recess."
Allison, what?
And
it's just you like being
literally
a little kid holding
guilty
your friend's hands.
as charged.
Yeah,
I was holding hands with my best girlfriends, and we would like walk around at recess and hold hands, and I was sent to the principal's office about
because of that
and questioned about it, and then they called my parents about it, and then later that night my parents were like, we don't mind this, but literally the school was like, we think we've got a lesbian in the midst.
We got a
feels
lesbian.
queer.
We've got a lesbian. There's a pandemic, and she is spreading the lesbianism. We're worried that it'll spread.
Call my parents. My parents are very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. But they were like, hey, we love you. If you want to like talk about anything.
And were you such a like, yeah, just like a naive little kid that you're like, I don't even know what you're asking me. Were you one of those that you're
It
like,
took
I
a
don't even
minute
understand what
because
you're
I was
saying.
just like, yeah. I mean, I'm
It's
just like,
yeah, it's like, of course
I was
I'm
just
holding
holding
hands with
hands.
girls. Like, why wouldn't I?
my
Like, I feel
parents
like I
were
was.
and I mean, girls, you know, hey.
Were they like? I mean, like, girls are pretty, right? I think girls are. Do you think girls are pretty, or
Well, they were
like?
kind of just like throwing me a softball, like,
Yeah.
hey, we can. What's up? And I was just like,
Yeah.
wait a second. I'm like, I'm holding hands with my friends at recess. Why is this? Honestly, it felt like because it was like men reporting it too. It felt
So
like weird.
I mean,
older
it's
men.
Creepy. It's creepy and they're freaks, Allison. I'm also thinking that. I'm making light of the situation, but I am thinking that.
Like, where was your mind going with just two like 12-year-old girls holding hands
and being like, that's gross. And like, I have to report it.
and you need to like come to my office and close the door and like let's
Yeah.
have a conversation about it. It's like,
About
oh
that.
my God. Anyway, I'm okay. I'm okay. And
Yeah,
so
Allison turned out to be extremely straight. I'm here to report.
married. It's my husband.
Husband. That's my husband.
But if I helped spread a pandemic of queerness, I would be.
I love
I would
that.
be a happy,
That's an ally.
virus spreader.
Yeah,
happy
that's an
to.
ally.
Happy to. No, so it reminded me of this. And
So
they
it's
have
like-
that conversation where they just are like, let's just choose to love each other. Like we're probably not gonna. The two of us are probably not gonna survive the next 24 hours. So let's go out on our terms. Let's be emotional players
Woo!
that love each other. And they're like, should we do our thing where we just say we? And I'm just like,
say we.
because that's what they do when they broadcast. They're
Yeah.
like, let's turn into one shared brain.
Yeah, they're locked in now.
I know.
And also, it makes me wonder what their gameplay would have been like if they were always locked in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, definitely in Survivor, it is a threat to
Yes.
see two
Yes.
people as pairs. But I would say in the
Yes.
beginning, when there's so many votes available, I honestly didn't understand initially, like, why they were so hesitant to be fully upfront about their relationship, especially if it's going to come out later and then almost like the
Yeah.
relationship seems treacherous.
Exactly, which is how people are taking it. Like there's a scene where these two cuties are
But also, if
skipping
you
down the
were
hallway.
students of pop culture,
You would know that.
You
Well,
would know they're
It
best
sounded
friends.
like Kristen did know that. In her talking
Okay.
head, I think she mentioned
Okay.
the fact, she knew that they are super close, and she and her bringing it up, like, oh, that's weird that they're not acting as close as I know that they are. She said something like that, and then, but exactly, it's being twisted as to like, oh, if they lied about that, what else have they lied about? If they lied about being so close, then what else have they gotten up to? Which, I mean, maybe I can kind of see that, but there's a scene at the end after the round
I think it
table.
would have to be that they are both traitors together and they started this game as traitors together. Or
But then that's so, like, why be so obvious now?
yeah.
But they don't think I don't know, the faithfuls don't think like that in this game. Also, another thing
Because the traitors did do a good job
did.
of taking out faithfuls who would be thinking like that.
I would be thinking like that. Interesting. I did also want
There's this just overall. There's this argument of like, is Rob truly a great traitor, or is it just bad faithfuls? But I have to give.
I mean, I give him more credit than that.
I have to give
I
credit
think
to
it's
the
a
traitors
mix.
because I think they did a good
Yes.
job of taking out the people that would have challenged them later on in the game.
Exactly.
However, Rob did enter with a crazy advantage of not being a gamer or a housewife.
And not being
being selected as a traitor first night.
Yeah, from the very beginning.
Being a traitor gives you an insane advantage in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're also like a default at this point in the series, under the radar person, even bigger of an advantage. So it's like, he's good, but He got easy street.
Exactly. There have been some softballs.
Well,
thrown at
my
him.
true neutral alignment for so many of these episodes is everything benefiting Rob.
Yeah,
in this
in
game.
every way. The challenge is benefiting him.
The twist benefiting him. Everything.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for Rob. It's good to be Rob.
So Johnny and Tara enter the round table knowing that they are going to put their lives on the line. So thank you for watching us. We realized just now that we
welcome back.
There was some video issues. So thank you for joining again. If you have still stuck around on YouTube to watch our video, we are a podcast team of 2.
Yep, and that's it. Just the 2 of us.
This beautiful podcast that you get to watch on YouTube. It's Scrappy Do Central of us figuring things out step by step of how to be a media empire. So we enter a round table and Johnny and Tara are ready to fight for their lives.
Yes, good.
Let's go. So
let's go, girls.
So Johnny is immediately painted as the target, the name.
Yes.
And
he talks first, I believe.
Yeah. And Mark, they're, Johnny, and they pretty much are like, hey, so we have been working together side by side for the past 11 years and we're best friends. So it's actually the 2 of us at the table now. Where are we? So let's
And we're cheering.
Woo,
let's go.
Let's make that clear. And essentially they're like, no, like Johnny wouldn't have been targeting Tara. Tara wouldn't have been targeting Johnny. They would have been like keeping things from each other. And Johnny's like, I wouldn't do that as a friend to Tara. Like, that's just not like realistic in our friendship. And Mark's like, oh, well, I also, have partnerships with Dancing with the Stars, and I would be able to play this game and keep something from them. And I said this earlier, I'm like, I don't
like, that's not Mark, we love you. That's not the same thing.
Literally not the same.
It's really not the same thing.
And Johnny putting his heart out and saying like, hey, I'm just going to lay everything out that I can. I thought he did such a good job at Round Table. I was really proud of him. And he said, being kind has been my Achilles heel of my entire life. And, and I don't even... It's weird to be in a place where I have to convince y'all that I'm a faithful, because I just am, and I always have been. And that's when Mark is like, well, if you're not a traitor, you then have to fight for it and tell us why. I'm like, that's literally what he's doing.
That's what he's doing and what he just did.
And that's what literally the whole show is.
Yeah. Sure. That was so weird. Yeah. Just like a weird... Again, just like a weird, like, oh, but you're not being the right kind of faithful, right? It's kind of going into that stratosphere, and it's just like, what a strange thing, because exactly, it's like we're all just holding on to just like the littlest bits of info that are is as like thick as cotton candy. Like, we really just don't have anything, and the people that exactly have that, like, right, that tiniest little nugget of feeling of who a traitor might be, and to act so above it is just, it's strange. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. But we're the audience. We know.
And then we see the target move to Steven. And they name the moment when he puts in the rocks in Lisa's box. And also that one-on-one chat that they witnessed him having with Candace.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that Steven didn't mention the other one-on-one chat. Because that's when Rob, so Candace and Steven are talking, and then Rob enters and is like, hey, Steven, I need to talk to Candace, just us. Can you go? And I was surprised.
And Steven's like, beep, ba-doop, ba-doop. Yeah, no problem. Boop, ba-doop, ba-doop.
And he doesn't mean like, oh, you guys are upset about a one-on-one chat. Well, then there was another one-on-one chat, and it was between Candace and Rob. And then they were going at each other later at the round table, and she voted for him for the past 2 times. Oh, it was so crazy.
Wow, it was so crazy. Anybody else notice that? Wild. Ooh.
And like Eric is over here just like...
His beautiful, like, I feel like it's almost like a caricature in an SNL skit. Like, as the show goes on, I feel like his skin gets like shinier and shinier and shinier until all we're gonna see is just like a balloon. Like, we just see like a seal, or like a dolphin. Like, he just turns into a dolphin at the end. That's really what he looks like. But yeah, Quiet does
and anything. When they go to vote at the round table, Rob had hinted at it before that he was like, you know what, I might actually join the bandwagon for
And go
Steven.
yeah.
Because that will let Johnny be a target for another round table. Kind of like I feel like Candace always voting for Ron earlier in the season, but Ron not being like actually voted out for a couple round tables because it just kept him as a like looming you know, traitor idea. So they vote and Steven was the one.
Steven gets out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt like they were coming at him like, you know, Natalie was saying like, oh, the way you deliver things is fake. I'm like, no, he's actually just one of the most normal, like nice guys.
Exactly.
Living one of the most normal, nice guy
lives out of everybody.
Out of everybody here.
Cast, yeah.
He was even like a nice guy when he was in Laguna Beach.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just being a teenager. He was painted as, I think, like nefarious, you know, like Don Juan sort of like guy, and it's like he's a teenager. Yeah, just like a normal kid. But yeah, I was a little surprised by that because it was looking like it was Johnny's name was being thrown around like the previous episode, some other episodes. So I guess that there was the slightest twist, I guess, in that sense. But people, it's looking like a pretty clear pathway.
Yeah, because the votes for Steven this episode include Natalie, who I think is going to be dead after this night, Rob and Eric, who are traitors and who are not going to, you know, continue protecting Johnny and Tara for much longer, and then Johnny and Tara. So I think the Kristen, Rob and Eric are going to flip to the Kristen and Mark camp of whatever they want.
Yep. Yeah. I did think it was interesting thinking about Eric's him bringing up the throwaway vote, which I believe did he vote for? I'm like blanking right now.
He voted for Steven.
He's voted for Steven, right?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I don't know.
I want to make another important note.
Okay, you go first. Okay, no, you go first because I'm kind of just like
I rewatched this because Kristen later brings up how quiet Eric was. I rewatched the round table in the way they edited it.
Exactly the way they edited it. Yeah.
Eric says nothing. Rob says nothing. There is no line of Rob speaking the whole round table.
Yeah.
But Eric gets the finger from Kristen.
Exactly. So yeah, I thought it was interesting of him to, even though he voted Steven, it wasn't a throwaway vote, but for him to even like say those words immediately puts a target on his back, right? Because it makes you think, who else said throwaway in this whole season? Candace.
Traitors.
Yeah. So I'm like, I thought that was interesting. I'm like, okay, 2 traitors have said like the words, if you will, like throwaway votes. And I also think it's interesting thinking back, right? Because we were just talking about like what are our thoughts of the season, and so of course I'm thinking back to other seasons. How do those seasons make me feel? What differences, similarities? And it's interesting how in past seasons I feel like there were so many more throwaway votes by people, and that was not. I don't believe that was really seen as like, oh, that's an indicator of something, or I don't know, or not even that, just the fact that there were so many throwaway votes. I can think of like last season, one of the faithfuls that went all the way, the housewife, it was something, her voting record was horrendous. She
kept voting for Tom.
Yes, and then even when he got out, she was still voting for him. Like, it was something really crazy where she voted wrong, like truly almost like every single episode of Traitors, and she still made it to the end. But that was never brought up to her as like, oh, that's weird. Like, why did you vote that or this and that? Yeah. But I don't know, something, again, just one of those things about this season where there's not any throwaway votes, and just so happens that the 2 people that say throwaway vote like happen to be traitors.
Within these like competition reality shows, the season has its own culture that they define the rules for early on, and it's unspoken, and it's like it's, you know, in Survivor it's the same way of, you know, it's the people that end up on the beach that they're the ones that make it a good bad season, a treacherous season, a glorious season, all of that. It really is like the rules, that the social rules within that like little group.
It's interesting.
So Steven goes, he announces he's a faithful. Oh, dang it.
And doesn't he say like, y'all messed up? Like, he says something like that when he leaves, which is true.
Do better next time. So after the round table, we've already discussed this, but yeah, we have the conversation where Kristen confronts Eric. Oop.
Mm-hmm. Oop. Oh. Oh.
I do think Kristen is doing a good job of thinking of, okay, if someone did get recruited,
yes,
they're, maybe someone who's been a faithful this whole game, their behavior will change after they've been recruited. What's something I can pick up on? I don't know if she mentions that she specifically thinks he's a recruitment traitor.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But that is definitely something I would be thinking of is by now there's someone who maybe was a good old faithful with me through most of the game, but now something's different.
Yeah, it feels different.
And
yeah,
I think, yes, Rob was silent at the round table. Eric was silent at the round table. But Eric is doing the headlights. Look.
Exactly. Yeah, he's not the right type of introvert. He's like he's a scaredy. He's giving Tara.
Yeah, she's Kristen does not like scaredy cats. Yeah. And so Kristen brings this information to Rob. And Rob, that is when we're like, oh, he's going to do the thing he did to Candace.
Yes.
He's not going to tell Eric. He's going to get Eric to kill Kristen. Like we see the writing on the wall. I was actually really glad that Rob told Eric.
Yeah.
Because I think this season is another one where there's a lot of traitor on traitor violence. That's always why the Traitors turret implodes. It's interesting though that amongst the faithfuls this season, none of them have suspected traitor on traitor violence.
Yeah, not a single one.
When that was such a prevalent thing in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was missing traitors working together.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, thank you, Rob.
This is nice.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
But did you find it interesting? Or do you feel that he did share that information because he feels like Eric is such a like inconsequential like traitor to him as far as like a piece in like the chess game, if you will? I don't know, because it made me think of like when he didn't share that info with Candace.
Right. I think he probably is still wanting. He either wants Eric until the final round table or that fire ceremony.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I think he is wanting to keep Eric around for the Johnny vote.
Like keep the hood over everybody's eyes, but also especially Eric's. Mm-hmm. Like again, he's playing everybody.
Oh yeah.
Which again makes him a talented traitor. He's working the faithfuls, he's working the traitors, and he's working the audience.
What?
Brava.
A lot of
Bravo,
work.
Rob.
Lots of work being done there. I did also like when Eric was like, "Well, if we keep Kristen, what do I do?" And he's like, "You need to convince her that you are not a traitor."
Yeah,
like,
buddy,
time to step up and do something. Like this is part of the job.
Yeah. Hi. Hi. Hello. You're a traitor. Ding dong. Ding dong. Traitors here.
Yeah. And this is now your life.
And this is now like, well, he didn't say like, I try to help, but he was like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, your problem now. Oh, she doesn't think that. All right. Sounds like it makes me think of an English teacher I had in 9th grade that whenever we had, high school qualms, like, I forgot my homework, or I didn't turn this thing on time. Every single time she said anything like that, she would just turn to us and say, sounds like a personal problem. And that's what and now it's stuck in here forever. And that's kind of what I thought when he said that. It's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? It's like, sounds like a personal problem, buddy. Make it work.
Make it work. So yeah, that is the end of the episode. So we will see how it goes next episode.
I'm very intrigued to see.
All Rob needs is 2 other votes with his dagger.
I know.
Because the dagger is there. Yeah, so I think the round table will be what he says goes, because I think he's going to be able to get 2. I think he's going to get 2 people to vote with him. So
yeah, easily.
So whatever he decides his target will be,
that'll be it.
Eric, Johnny.
Yeah, it's
doubtful it would be Kristen.
I don't think she is so in his pocket. Why get rid of her?
Yeah,
that would be wild. No. That's not gonna happen.
No.
I know. I'm very interested to see. Well, you've
Exactly
theorized
what
what the
I
next
think.
couple of episodes are gonna look like. So I'm interested to see. Is it gonna be like playing bingo from here on out, right?
Yeah.
Just like, all right, oh, Allison said, and here we go. Oh, and this, oh. Except none of us win. Only Rob.
Only Rob.
Only
Well,
Rob.
if you've been enjoying our Traitors recaps and you're planning to watch Survivor 50, we are so excited about the Survivor 50 season coming up. We
Yes.
are doing profiles on all of the Survivor 50 players right now. So we're having so much fun with them. So please check them out. And the moment we're done with these Traitor recaps, join us for the Survivor 50 ones. It's going to be a
Yes.
great time. So to stay in touch with us, please subscribe, follow, give us a review while you're at it, leave us a comment with your thoughts on the podcast. Also, if you want to get in contact with us, you can contact us at hi@chaoticgoodpod.com, and we have a phone number on the screen right here if you want to give us a voicemail.
We would love
Join
to hear
us on
your
the pod.
beautiful
Why
melodic
don't ya?
voices. Yeah.
Send us a text message.
Yes.
It's going to be fun. So thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for your patience with our video problems. I'm so annoyed about that. Nina's so kind. She's like, it happens. I'm like, yeah, but okay.
I'm like, it happens on every podcast. I'm like, I've listened to so many podcasts where hey, at least we have the recording. How
Yeah.
many podcasts do we know that just like, oh, that episode gone? Oh, that episode we recorded with a guest. Like a guest came in and they reworked their schedule.